no place like the Cube.
Coming across your airwaves, dance with me. It's an intersectional day, and it's gonna bring you the weekly.
Family, is the news overwhelming? Is it just too much? Well, I get you, and I got you. For our next family, this is your favorite queer radio personality, Anna Deshawn, and this is Queer News, your favorite weekly news pod where race and sexuality meet politics, culture, and entertainment. This is your number one stop for queer news done right, only on E3 Radio.
Yo, bro, like, don't get me on my soapbox, but like shit like the Riley Gaines shit, like, I'm like, bro, this is a grift, shorty. Like, you suck. You came in fifth. You know what I mean? You didn't lose because there was a transgender athlete in this swim meet. You lost because you were ass. You lost because you're ass. So fight against being ass. Get back in the lab, fix your shit up, and stop blaming this shit on another people, a marginalized community that got nothing to do with you.
That voice was the Kid Mero while being interviewed by Rolling Stone. Now, you may not know who he is, but he's a DJ on the iconic Hot 97 in New York. He's a comedian, a writer, and honestly, just a big personality. And how often do we get to hear cis men with huge followings stand up for our trans sibs? Child, when I saw this on the internet, I said, this got to go on the podcast, because it was truly just a dope moment, especially because people can't hear it from us. People often can't hear it from us. So thank God for Mero, okay? I'm glad he said it, because for real, Jesus, just a drifter. Now, as you all know, it is Black History Month, so happy Black History Month. And also, as you know, every week this month, we've been celebrating a Black queer figure in Black history, right? This week's highlight is the show-stopping drag king pioneer, Gladys Bentley. She is absolutely one of my favorite figures in Black history. Thank you, Mayana, our associate producer, for making this the highlight, because Gladys was a blues singer and a pianist, as well as a drag king that occasionally performed under the name Bobby Minton. She got her start in the 1930s, headlining at Harlem's Ubangi Club, where she was backed up by a chorus of gay male performers. Y'all, I have a wonderful video about Gladys Bentley. I'm going to put it in the show notes. She was amazing. She was loud, proud, and openly out as a lesbian well into the 50s. However, her life took a turn when she married Charles Roberts in 1952. So much had happened. There was war. She couldn't get booked. She pivoted. Shortly after the marriage, Gladys published an article detailing her life in Ebony magazine titled, "I Am a Woman Again," renouncing her lesbian title and giving thanks to the, quote, the miracle and, quote, modern medicine, which we know is code for conversion therapy. In 1960, Gladys passed away from pneumonia. The National Museum of African American History and Culture currently houses 6 archival pieces from Gladys's life, including a portrait of Gladys in a 3-piece suit and a top hat, which she wore during her days as a drag king. She looked so fly, and every time I go to put on a suit and I'm feeling a little apprehensive, I think about Gladys Bentley, the fact that she was doing this in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. And if she can do it then, I can absolutely wear a suit in 2026, okay? And let me tell you, we will tell Gladys's story so that people know that she was here. QCrew was good. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who has contributed to helping me get to the ambies, okay? We are now up to $755. Thank you, Diane, Q, Kim, Danny, Christy, Julie, Becky, Carolyn, Lisa, Susan, Dominic, Laren, Rachel, and my cousin Walter. Thank you so much. And we have been able to secure lodging. We've got our tickets now, and we're going to be in New York. Let's go. And QCrew, I just want to thank you for your continued commitment. You helped to cover the cost of our editor, Ryan, who I wouldn't want to do this podcast without. And if you don't currently give today, consider it, okay? Because if you believe in the work we do, if you believe LGBTQ stories need to be amplified, and if you love and report how I report on these stories, join the QCrew for as low as $5 a month. A link is in the show notes. And don't forget, we got the Queer News tip line. Send me a voicemail. I would love to hear from you. You got a business, you got an event coming up, an organization folks should know about, a song coming out. Send me a voicemail. I'll play it on the show just like an ad. Now for the news. In top news, the Trump administration ordered the removal of the pride flag from Stonewall. Our good friend Kathy Renner was there in person and left us a voicemail to share more about it. In politics, the Trump administration attempts to revoke $600 million in healthcare funding from 4 states who have vocally opposed him. And the Transgender Law Center breaks down what a transgender Bill of Rights can look like. In culture and entertainment, Don Lemon pleads not guilty to federal charges, and Seeing Her, the Docu-Series, has premiered. Let's get into it. For our top story this week, the Trump administration really tried it, y'all. Last week, the Trump administration called for the removal of the pride flag from the Stonewall National Monument. The National Park Service complied, telling CNN that, quote, recent adjustments to flag displays at the monument were made to ensure consistency with federal guidance and applicable executive order. Stonewall National Monument remains committed to preserving and interpreting the history and significance of this site through its exhibits, programs, and educational initiatives. But Chile, how did queer erasure advance to the point that the pride flag could be removed from the Stonewall National Monument? Well, Spencer from Uncloseted Media Weekly, which if you don't follow, definitely go do that. They're doing great investigative reporting and journalism. Broke it down by date, okay? Let's talk about how we got here. January 21st of 2025, nearly all LGBTQ and HIV-focused content and resources were deleted from the White House website, right? Then in February of last year, mentions of LGBTQ people were erased or minimized across all the federal government websites. They even changed the LGBTQ acronym and left out the T and the Q. Y'all remember that? Yeah. Then in June of last year, during the first week of Pride Month, the Department of Defense removed the LGBTQ icon Harvey Milk's name from a U.S. naval vessel, and they plan to rename it. Y'all remember that? I mean, it just goes on. In August, the White House publishes a list of the 20 Smithsonian exhibits deemed objectionable, okay? Including many that highlighted LGBTQ plus communities. In September, the CDC removed restricted web pages related to LGBTQ health and equity. In October, FBI Director Kash Patel fires a trainee for displaying a pride flag on his desk, labeling it an improper political message. We didn't get here by accident. Now, in this case with Stonewall, the people quickly organized a protest the same day, the exact same day that the pride flag was removed, and many prominent LGBTQ plus activists and advocates spoke out. Now, let's take a listen to our friend Kathy Renner, who shares what it was like at the protests at Stonewall that day and the energy on the ground when the flag was raised once again.
This is Kathy Renner, she, her pronouns. I'm the communications director for the National LGBTQ Task Force, and I am located in Montclair, New Jersey. I was just thrilled to see our community come together in unity to respond to the disgusting, frankly, removal of the original rainbow flag at the Stonewall National Monument. That's a sacred place for our community, some place where we go when good things happen, when bad things happen, when we win fights like marriage equality, and when we lose community members in horrific incidents like the Pulse nightclub massacre. It is truly a historic, but also vitally, currently important place for people around the world to come to learn about where the modern LGBT rights movement really was sparked after the Stonewall Uprising in 1969. I was absolutely thrilled to see the next day our elected officials and community organizations come together to raise the flag once again in defiance to the just absolutely ridiculous policy of the Trump administration, another attempt to erase who we are, who we love, and our contributions to American history.
Thank you, Kathy. And honestly, family, isn't community what it's all about? If we come together, there is absolutely nothing we can't do. For our next story, as if the removal of the pride flag wasn't enough, the Trump administration is aiming to cut $600 million in public health care funding to 4 states in particular. Can you all guess them? I bet you could if you tried. California, Colorado, Illinois, and Minnesota are all at risk of losing millions on millions of dollars in federal funding grants. It's not lost on anyone that these states are led by Democrats who continue to vocally disapprove of the Trump administration and its ridiculously hateful and deplorable actions. Now, a spokesman from HHS announced that, quote, these grants are being terminated because they do not reflect agency priorities. Agency priorities. Those unreflected priorities, that equals programs aimed at us, right? The LGBTQ+A community, HIV awareness, and disease outbreak management. On February 13th, though, an Illinois federal judge, Manischai, blocked the cutting of funds, citing that, quote, the states have shown that they would suffer irreparable harm from the agency action. This action actually stops the Trump administration from acting on their decision to rescind the funds for 14 days. Family, we are currently inside that 14-day window. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul added that, quote, targeting 4 Democrat-run states that are standing up to his completely unrelated immigration policies is a transparent attempt to bully us into compliance. The president may be playing politics with critical public health funding, including more than $100 million to Illinois, but our residents are the ones who will pay the price. No lies detected here, okay? $100 million impacts so many people. Illinois representatives are currently looking at measures to extend the block past 14 days, but for now, the states are preparing their resources for either outcome. Now, of course, we're going to continue to follow this story because it will deeply impact us on so many levels. For our last political story of the day, can I give y'all some positive, proactive progress? And child, let me just be clear. I love a good alliteration. Okay, so positive, proactive progress. Yeah. Was made when the Transgender Bill of Rights, a comprehensive federal legislative proposal, was reintroduced just last week. This Bill of Rights aims to protect and codify rights for transgender and non-binary people. Now, what does this really mean, Anna? Let me tell y'all. This bill focuses on banning discrimination in housing, employment, and healthcare, while ensuring access to gender-affirming care, protecting bodily autonomy, and securing rights in schools. The Transgender Law Center said, quote, should the bill advance, this resolution would outline a federal framework to protect trans and gender expansive people's access to healthcare, housing and shelter, safety from violence, and economic security. Now, this bill is being led by Representative Pramila Jayapal and Senator Ed Markey. Hear what Representative Jayapal had to say at the press conference.
Too often when we discuss trans rights, we're on the defensive, discussing how to protect trans people from horrific Republican attacks and how to ensure that trans people can live authentically in our communities. Today, though, we are not on the defensive. We are looking forward with the Trans Bill of Rights. We are laying out a comprehensive vision to provide protections for transgender and non-binary people, a vision that ensures that every single person has a chance to thrive, a vision that says you are us, you belong, and you are worthy as of the same rights as everyone. This bill supports amending the Civil Rights Act to ensure that trans people have the same rights and protections as all other Americans. It creates a level playing field where trans people no longer have to fight tooth and nail to get the same treatment as their cisgender friends. Creating inherent protections for trans people when it comes to schooling, housing, accessing credit and healthcare, expanding community services and mental health services for trans people is what it takes to ensure that trans people have full equality, where we can celebrate trans rights rather than fight for every single right at every turn.
It's the proactive part for me. It's Democrats doing something for me. The Transgender Law Center encourages those who can to take action by calling their member of Congress and asking them, have you endorsed the Transgender Bill of Rights? If you don't know who your representatives are, a quick Google search will do the trick, okay? It's really simple. And if you've never called your representative before, that's okay. Why not start today? When you do it once, you realize just how easy it is, and you will never stop calling them. Now, it feels like a wonderful time to take a break, pay some bills, and when we get back, let's get into some culture and entertainment, okay? If you're listening to this, it means we didn't sell this ad space. If you're listening to this, it means running ads on our podcast can actually work. You see what I did there? Do you need some promo? A little amplification? Hit us up at info@e3radio.fm. That's info@e3radio.fm. We have a platform. You should use it. Family, it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna Deshawn here, and this is completely off schedule. I have never done this before, but I need your help. All right, we got a survey, and this survey is going to help us understand you better. Understanding you better means that we can provide programs, interviews, content that fits the things that you care about most. It'll also help us to approach advertisers. Chile, okay, it costs money to keep this thing going, but not just going, I want it to grow. So to do that, I need your help because we cannot do this alone. So please, take a few minutes. It takes about 10 minutes. I did it myself, okay? It takes about 10 minutes to complete. So during lunch today, this evening, maybe sometime this weekend, if you can complete this survey for us before the 20th, I would really, really appreciate it. You already know, a link is in the show notes, and I will talk to y'all on Monday. Peace. Did you know we had a newsletter? Yes. The Queer News Podcast has a weekly newsletter that comes out every Monday. There's a special newsletter for the QCrew, but there's a free newsletter for absolutely everybody. So if you want to stay in the know about what I got going on, what I got to say unfiltered, and just a list of all the stories covered every single week with time codes, you got to subscribe to the newsletter. A link to subscribe is in the show notes. Welcome back to the show, family. Now let's get into some culture and entertainment. We've got an update on independent journalist Don Lemon and his case. Now, as we reported in episode 322, Don was one of a handful of journalists and advocates who were briefly detained after covering a protest at a church where allegedly, supposedly, most likely, one of the pastors works for ICE in Minnesota. Now, when Don appeared in court, he found out that he was being charged with 2 federal counts. One charge is conspiracy to violate someone's constitutional rights, and the second charge is violating the FACE Act, which means he's being accused of violating someone's right to exercise religious freedom. The way this is just a bunch of BS, but I'm just going to keep reporting the facts, because that's what I'm supposed to do here. But he's a journalist. He was covering a protest. It was announced on Friday, February 13th, that Don Lemon has pleaded not guilty. He addressed reporters and supporters outside the courthouse, and he said this: "This isn't just about me. This is about all journalists, especially in the United States. The events before my arrest and what's happened since show that people are finally realizing what the Trump administration is all about. The process is the punishment with them. Lemon declared. I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these baseless charges, and I will not be silenced. Yes, Don, we love it, okay? We love it all. Lemon supporters had a message for the court too. Drop the charges, support our press. Now, the other journalist, Georgia Fort, who was also detained alongside Don Lemon, also pled not guilty. Don's legal team consists of Minnesota federal prosecutor Joseph H. Thompson and attorney Abby Lowell, both of whom support Don's plans to fight the federal charges bestowed upon him. And little known fact, Joseph recently resigned from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota because they didn't agree with Trump's DOJ's leadership over the investigation into the ICE shooting of Renee Good. They didn't want to investigate the victim's associates versus investigating the shooter. And now he's representing Don. Gosh, sometimes I really do love how the universe works, okay? A pastor from that church where the protest took place in St. Paul, Jonathan Parnell, had his own statement for the press. He said, "Our church, like countless others around the world, gathers each Sunday to worship Jesus. Until January 18, 2026, we had done so in peace, grateful for the freedoms we enjoy in this nation. A group of agitators disrupted our service, accosted our members, and terrified our children." Now, since Don has pleaded not guilty, they will move into the pretrial phase of things. This includes hearings and motions. So we'll keep you abreast of what happens next. The verdict will be a moment, though, where the courts will tell the country who is really protected by the First Amendment. Because it ought to be journalists. But we will soon find out, won't we?
Hey everyone, my name is Malia London. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm from the south side of Chicago, Inglewood, where y'all at. I had the honor of being the Pay It Forward recipient in 2025. The Pay It Forward program is put on by the DeChamps Bradley Clinic that's based out of San Francisco, California. And they pick one trans or non-binary person a year and fully cover their facial alignment surgery at absolutely no cost. And that person that's picked is somebody that gives back a significant amount of their time back into community, whether that's advocacy, mentorship, or some other kind of volunteering. Seeing Her is a docu-series that's put on by the same clinic that follows my journey as I get ready for surgery, leading up until surgery. It touches on recovery, and more importantly, it shows the real human impact that gender-affirming care really offers trans individuals. And I really am looking forward to you guys checking it out. I think access is such a beautiful thing. And, if it could happen for a Black trans girl in the south side of Chicago, I would love to see it happen for y'all too. And so if there's anybody that you know that's looking to get gender-affirming surgery, please let them know that this program exists because it's important. Thank y'all.
Family, that was my friend Malia. Thank you so much, Malia, for leaving us a voicemail. Okay, Chicago, stand up. Malia and I serve on the mayor's LGBTQ plus advisory council. She is also the chair of the board at Howard Brown Health. And now she is featured in the new docu-series, Seeing Her. The docu-series invites us to follow the inspiring journeys of the recipients of their Pay It Forward program. It's first-hand, first-person storytelling celebrating each recipient's advocacy, their resilience, and personal evolution through surgery and healing. The Pay It Forward program honors transgender advocates who exemplify courage, compassion, and community impact, offering each a fully funded gender-affirming facial surgery. Child, let me just tell y'all, you may not know Malia personally, but she fits this very definition. I can't wait to watch, and I'm sharing because I want y'all to watch. The best way we can combat all of this hate is by humanizing our stories. And this docuseries, Seeing Her, does just that. It premiered February 6th, and there are currently 5 episodes out live for viewing, so go check it out. A link is in our show notes where you can watch and support. I know you will enjoy it. Family, you know it's time for Anna's Got a Word because Anna's always got a word. And my word today is takeoff. This is my word for 2026. And for me, it means to hone all the work I've been doing over the last 5 years and take it to a different level. The moment I quit corporate 5 years ago, I set out to achieve my dreams, to do what I wanted to do full time. And this is the year where we need to take off, hit new heights, hit new numbers, grow our listenership, grow our viewership, and I want to take off with the Cube. The platform, I failed. I just wrote an op-ed piece that I'm going to share with everybody really, really soon. And it's this realization of where you have failed, where you have learned, where you have sat, allowed the dream to stir in you. And when you are ready and you are clear, and then you're ready to relaunch. I'm at the relaunch takeoff. Let's go. I am so energized about what we're building and about this relaunch and about the people surrounding me who will believe in what I'm doing, who want to support the work. I believe in it so much in this moment. It will take off. And I am so excited that y'all are on a journey with me so you can see it for yourself, okay? Because we're about to take off. Now you do the same, okay? So we can meet each other in the stars somewhere, okay? On that rocket ship. I'll talk to y'all next week. Peace. If you've enjoyed what you heard, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is written and produced by me, Anna Deshawn. Podcast editing by Ryan Woodhall. And brought to you by E3 Radio and distributed on The Cube. We are Queer News Done Right.